Welcome to this week's Dream Card judging video here at BOTB. We'd now like to hand over to today's lawyer from Onside Law who'll oversee the proceedings.
My name's George Cottle from Onside Law and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that the competition data has already been sent to the auditing company as is. I would now like today's judges to introduce themselves and, using the secure link provided, mark where they think the centre of the ball should be. The judges will then come to a final panel decision.
Good morning, my name is Matt Cannon. I'm the senior county referee and footballer.
Good morning, my name is Alain Goma. I'm an ex-professional football player, having played for Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle and Fulham.
Good morning, my name is Leo Donnellan. I'm an ex-professional football player, having been with Chelsea, Fulham and Leyton Orient.
Good morning, my name's Andy Braithwaite and I'm a football referee, mentor and licensed observer.
Hi, my name is Matthew Ray. I've affiliated in multiple counties across England and have refereed from grassroots through the professional academies.
Hello, my name's Wendy Martin. I've previously played for Tottenham Hotspur Ladies and currently play beach soccer for England and Great Britain.
Hi, my name is Jerry Mendonca. I've been involved in football for over 30 years, firstly as a player and then as a referee.
Hi, my name's Chloe Morgan and I'm an ex-player for Crystal Palace Women.
Judges, please now come to a final panel decision. For your reference, the larger white cross is the calculated average of the 8 individual selections.
Thank you, George. Good morning, everybody. Before I draw some lines in, Chloe, I'm going to come to you, please, first. Yours is the pink cross there, magnified. If you could have a look at the photograph, let us know what you're seeing in the photo, and then let us know how you reached your own choice, please.
Cheers, thanks, Matt. I think obviously there's 2 players there in shot, one player in the white jersey behind the player in the blue jersey. The player in the white jersey looks to me like he's standing at full height, the player in the blue jersey in front. So obviously seems to be crouched down, sort of preparing himself for some kind of impact. From each player, we've only got one eye in shot. So I took sort of a lot of context of the height of the ball from the player in white. In terms of what's happening, I felt the ball was coming in from sort of right to left, potentially a bouncing ball, although it's sort of quite hard to really get a full assessment, I suppose, of what's going on because we don't really have a lot of the players, the lower bodies. We can obviously only see sort of chest height downwards. But I think it's, I'm convinced that it's a bouncing ball sort of coming in, from right to left, with the white player looking almost sort of horizontally across, but slightly raised. There's a touch of white just underneath his pupils that sort of give me the impression that there was a slight raise there, but not too much. And the player in blue, obviously sort of looking up quite steeply. He's got a furrowed brow there. He's crouched down. But I felt that he was looking sort of almost vertically, but again, sort of up in front of him. I appreciate that you can look sort of directly up through his forehead.
Thanks, Chloe. And do you think that your favourite is the white player?
Yeah, I do, even though he's behind the player in blue. I think because the player in blue sort of crouched downwards, and I think the player in white has got his arm across his back, and I think that suggests to me that he's going to sort of reach forward and nod the ball on. Yeah,
great. I'll draw some lines in. Obviously, we've got quite a big spread from both players. We have Wendy's at the top, and we have Alain's at the bottom. And similarly from this player crouching down, we have Wendy's over to the left, and again Alain's over to the right. So we've got quite a big spread from side to side. So I'll take you two first. So Alain, I'll come to you. There's your green cross. What did you see?
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Also I think the player in white is favorite for the ball. I think the ball is coming from right to left. I think it's more like a flat ball, which is coming with pace. Playing white, I thought it was looking quite shallow. slightly above horizontal. He's pushing the player blue down with his left elbow, and I'm sure he's gonna hit this ball. The player in blue, I don't think he's really challenging the ball. He just can, he's looking at the ball actually coming above his head. He's looking, up and forward diagonally. I thought the ball was a bit further than my colleagues. Basically, no, I agree, fundamentally with the Chloe playing in white. I said he's going to head the ball. As I mentioned, I think he's a bit further away from the two players.
Okay, thanks, Anna. Wendy, I'll come to you next. Yours, the purple cross there's magnified on the opposite side from Alain's. What did you see in the picture?
I thought the ball was coming from right to left. I think the player in white is favourite to win the ball. I did feel the player in white, the back of his neck is slightly tilted. There's a slight angle. So I thought there was just a little bit of height on the ball, and also, although it's still a flattish ball, because of the distance the ball has still got to travel, I thought the trajectory of the ball, it would be dropping just a little bit over that distance. So that's why I've gone a little bit higher. And also the player in blue, I don't necessarily think he's got, although he's looking up, I don't think he actually had sort of direct contact, sort of eye contact with the ball. So I felt the nudge in his back, maybe he was then twisting to try and sort of follow the ball and see where it was gone. So I didn't take as much information from his eye line, just because I thought the nudge had sort of pushed him maybe under the ball a little bit and forward, but I thought maybe it was a throw-in or something coming in from right to left with the white player favourite to win the ball.
Thank you. Next, I'll come to you, Andy. You're just a bit further away. Excuse me, Andy, you're a bit further away from the rest of us. What did you see?
Thanks, Matt. Probably a little bit of what Chloe said and a little bit of what Wendy said. To me, it's either a ball that's bounced like dead just in front of them, or it has come from a throw-in, or the position that the two guys are in. I feel that, yes, the guy in white is nudging into the guy in blue. The blue player is ducking under the ball coming in. They both look pretty sort of calm about it. So for me, that's why I gave it that little bit of extra distance away. I just felt that if it was a closer, that either their mouths or nose or whatever would be, or eyesight would be a little bit sharper. But basically, I just feel it's a bounce ball, or it's a dead ball there, and the guy in blue is trying to fend off the guy in white, and he's pushed into the back of him.
Great, thank you. And then I'll come back into the sort of cluster in the middle. So I'll come to you next, Ari. You're the light blue cross. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sort of. I felt as well, like Chloe, that I feel that this is a bounce ball. Play in blue, is crouch. I feel that he needed like one step back to be in the right position, mainly in the position where the play in white is. Play in white, I think he's in full control. He has a clear view of the ball, and by his facial expression, I can see more intent to get to the ball. I felt the player in blue, he is resigned. The way he's looking, he's trying to look up. The ball is above him, and I feel that he's just resigned that the ball is not going to be mine anymore on this one. He lost challenge already, even by his facial expression. I can see that it's not for him, this one. When I cross-referenced with both eye lines, I felt that he should be where I place my cross.
Yep, thank you. And just below my own is yours, Leo, the yellow cross. How did you reach your decision?
Yeah, hi, Matt. Yeah, very similar to Harry there, to Ari. I think the player in white is going to head the ball. I think we've got a good view of his eye. I think he's looking fairly shallow. I always say this, Matt, he's going to use his forehead to head the ball. So, yeah, I believe he's going to head the ball. I think the player in blue, he's looking vertically and a little bit in front of himself. I don't think he's going to get to the ball. I think both players are extremely tight and close to each other. I actually don't think the player in white is fouling him. I just think they're just extremely close. Maybe he's a centre half. He's a forward player, and I think it's probably come from something like a throw in, and that's why he is so close at this point. I think it's imminent that he's going to hit the ball. But I took most things, obviously, Matt, from their eye lines.
Yep, no, sure. Thank you. And Matthew, you're at the bottom there. You're the orange cross. Did you agree with that?
Yeah, pretty much. The only thing to add really is I think the player in white's looking pretty shallow. Don't think it's a steep ball coming in, or it could be a bouncing ball that's almost upwards towards him. So, I think white player's favourite to win the ball. I think it's coming in right to left. But I've used both eye lines to get that cross. Thank you.
And that leaves my own. I'm just below Ari's and above Leo's. I wasn't sure what the ball was doing, to be honest with you. They're so passive, as I think one of the previous judges said, that it almost looked like that the ball was passing them by and they were just sort of watching it go. But it's possible that there's a throw-in possibly come in to have that trajectory because they are so relaxed in it. It would just be something that they would just react to. And I do think the player in white, to me, looking at the photograph, is favourite. And I took a lot from the eyes, cross-referencing the eye lines as the players of the competition do as well. So that's important to note, that we've really got to take it from both the eye lines if we can. So there we have the calculated average. And as you see, we've got three judges, Wendy, Andy, and Alain, quite a way away from the magnifier. And even if I remove one and then the other, they all stay outside the magnifier. So whilst I would accept that that every choice is plausible, I want to make the note again back to the players of the competition looking at both eye lines. I think it's very important that we understand that. And as lead judge, I'm going to remove Wendy's, Andy's, and Alain, which brings us into obviously a tighter cluster. And if I just explain myself, if we put them back individually and I remove Wendy's, they're still outside the cluster. Andy's, Alain's still outside the cluster. So that's my justification as lead judge, and that gives us our a narrow angle up. I will redraw the lines so we can see from both players. We have quite a quite tight, narrow lines. I've obviously done this as lead judge, but I will come through you individually to see whether you have any other things to add or would like to speak about. So the players of the competition can understand how we've all reached this decision, or I've reached this decision along with the 5 remaining judges. So Alain?
Sorry, Matt. I think I agree with you. By removing the 3 crosses which are outside of the magnifier, we got a much tighter cluster, and I think it makes sense. Yeah.
Thank you, Leo.
Yeah, I agree with you, Matt. I actually personally, I don't think the players' eye lines tell me those 3 crosses would be acceptable. That's what I think.
Yeah. Andy?
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I agree with the groupings as it lies there, but unfortunately, I don't agree with with it being as left as it is. I just feel a tad to the right, but I do agree with the placing of the majority. Yeah,
I mean, your eye line was out to the right, but in that same line, so it's actually exponentially Not that far away, but again, it's how we calculate the average.
Absolutely.
That's the important part.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Matthew?
Yeah, I like that. I think it's a good average. Happy to go with that, definitely.
Yeah. Wendy?
Yeah, for me, I think it is a little bit low. So I think the ball actually sits lower than the player's forehead at the average there. And I did like that the 3 crosses that you have removed did balance each other out. But I also sort of appreciate sort of the justification for removing them and like the average there.
Okay. Ari?
Well, I agree with you with your assessment, Matt. It's a good resolution the way it is.
Yeah. And lastly, Chloe.
Yeah, I'm happy with that, Matt. I think the removal of those 3 crosses brings the average closer to where I thought the ball was. So yeah, happy with how it is now.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, interestingly enough, that the actual calculated average hasn't moved an awful lot, but I think it's the justification of the cluster that is important here. So, George, with myself as lead judge removing Alain, Andy, and Wendy, we're going to judge at this calculated average with the remaining 5 judges taken into consideration.
Great. Thanks, Matt. Please go ahead and click submit. Thank you, judges. The selected coordinates are 33601376. These coordinates will now be passed to the auditing company ASITS to calculate the winner of the competition, and they will then inform BOTB. That concludes the judging process. Thank you.